Welcome back to...
Sorry. I regret nothing. I'm not sorry. Don't apologize. Okay, I'm done.
Last time, on Vestige of Ophiuchus, the group fought some couture, and then they beat them. And that was the game.
That was the game.
He's not lying. Like, that's basically
It's
it.
pretty much what happened.
Kitty, you awake?
Yeah, I'm mostly here.
How are you feeling? Everything working properly?
As far as I can tell. Bit banged up, but better than you.
Kitty, you said something yesterday after everything went down, and you need Raleigh, right? You had said that?
Ideally, yeah.
Is it about what he had mentioned before at the hotel?
Yeah.
I never really thought to ask because, well, you never really talk about it that much. Is there some sort of mystery about it? What exactly do you know about what happened at the mines?
Nothing until recently. It was a collapse. I got a letter, I don't know, a couple weeks, a month later. It was in the middle of everything with your dad, so that's why I didn't talk to you much about it. Yeah, I mean, that happens all the time. Like, as horrible as it sounds, it was natural until I found out that probably wasn't.
You seem very angry.
I guess it's something to do. It's hard to use that energy in a constructive way.
Sorry.
What do you have to be sorry about?
A few things, but mostly, if I hadn't have let that thing go, then Aristo would still be...
Don't even.
I was so into the battle, Kitty. He just got away from us, and I thought that there wasn't anywhere for him to run that way, so... Then...
I was right beside you. I also failed to stop it from getting away. I can't save everyone. You can try, but that's just not always possible. But if this Spectre thing can help us out at all, then maybe that's not a dead end.
We will get Aristo back on his feet, and we will find out what happened at the mines, with or without me. He kind of motions to it like the wounds he has. This is the only thing I'm really good for. I will promise we will get out of this place.
I saw that you kind of maybe wanted to like get something from the big guy that like fell off the waterfall. So I know it's not the same, but I got you this, and she's gonna hold out the ear that she cut off the other dude and give it to fucking.
Do Koatoa have ears?
I cut something off of it.
It's an inconspicuous fin.
She thinks it's an ear.
They definitely do not. You cut... They have tiny little fins, though. We can say you cut off one of the fins off of the top of it.
Okay.
Or they have little, like, fish whisker, like, beards, if you want to cut off its...
Give him a little whisker. Yeah, sure.
See, it's got those
Oh,
gross things.
oh, look at its gross beard. Yeah, I cut that off.
There you go.
She's like dangling that at you, like, you.
Here you go.
Here you go.
He'll take it.
Big
Thanks.
old smile. You're welcome.
These
So, like,
bastards are way more trouble than I thought they'd be.
so like, how come you like collecting stuff from things you've killed? Is it just because you're like, I did it, I killed the thing, or are you like actually using them for something?
Yeah, it's an old habit.
Okay.
It's a trophy, I guess. I used to take them a lot when I was still in the army. Nice. Reminder of I guess feat of strength, sort of thing.
Okay. I'm sorry, it's not something from the big guy.
It's fine. I'll just have to kill something bigger. Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty big. It was kind of hard.
Yeah, definitely. That thing is a lot of trouble. I probably didn't deserve a trophy from that thing anyway. I only got the final hit on it. I didn't do the majority of the work.
I mean, we all worked together and got it. Like, teamwork counts.
I'm so tired. I hurt so much.
I mean, you're kind of surrounded, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm just gonna lay down. And
Okay.
hopefully the tide doesn't get too high so I drown.
Well, maybe like rest over there with everybody else. Lexi is contemplating if she's strong enough to swim with the Vogue.
Don't do it.
I mean, I could maybe try and carry. I could try. I think I could do it. I could
I am
probably
in
do it.
heavy-ish armor.
You're
I feel like I bulked up since the fight.
try. I think
can't relate.
we should try so that you don't drown. Like it'd be better if like we struggle a little bit to get over there so that you don't drown.
Fine.
Yay.
He'll struggle to get up. Oh,
She's go help him. She's go help him.
here I... Oh.
Oh. Are you okay?
Okay, it was just my spine.
Not something I needed. Like my fists.
Yeah. Not as important. And he'll
So,
attempt to swim over.
All
to
right.
like distract you. You know what was really, really cool? You were flying. You were flying during that fight, and that was
It's
really,
true.
really cool.
If only I
Really
could
good.
fly now. And I
You
swim
guys are
over.
swimming over, all of a sudden a centipede hits Vogan in the face. Fucking centipedes!
I eat it.
Go back over there. Go back over
Source of
there.
protein.
Fenris just claps in admiration of him eating it. That's such a cool parlor trick.
Quintus
God.
throws it. Just
What else
catches
do you
it in
eat?
his mouth.
Dude,
He puts his
like
hands up.
spaghetti.
10 points!
Like fucking.
Fucking Timon and Pumbaa style.
Slimy but satisfying.
Oh goddamn! Oh, I
Hey,
hate it.
hey, say what you want. Those bugs look delicious in that movie.
Yes, they
It's
are.
true. They look like candy.
And I will just like, I'll like take a little like string and just make a little necklace for like the little Kuatoa trophy.
Gross.
It's so gross looking. Hell yes!
These are choices.
This is amazing. I'm so
Alright.
happy.
Is there anything
Just
else?
add the item gross beard necklace to your inventory.
Oof.
All right.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do during the course of the long rest?
I kill Kyverium.
Oh shit!
Oh, absolutely.
You were the traitor the entire time. That's
Hey,
right.
that's
It
my
was
history.
me. This is the letter that I had written. This is the Aristo costume that I wore when I went in to have them make the letter.
I'm actually
my
Mirror
God.
Vogan.
Mogan, if you will. So you might not really want to like talk about it, but how are you feeling about the whole Raleigh thing? Because like you knew him the longest. Like, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I don't care. Really.
Looks at Vogan, looks at Fenris like he's lying.
If you want to roll insight, you can.
I carry? No, you're not lying. Lexi thinks you're
Yeah.
lying.
Fenris gives like a concerned look to Lexi as if like, and they were friends? I'm not so sure.
I mean, you did say that like you didn't really trust him and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean that you weren't friends and that you like don't care that he's not around right now.
We weren't friends. I don't care that he's gone. He proved with his actions that he was not to be trustworthy. Thus, my opinion rests.
A just opinion
Just like he
to have,
does
I
in my
suppose.
bag.
Kicks the bag.
I know he didn't
And-
feel that, but I want him to.
Made me feel better.
At least you're carrying him along with us. That at least shows a little bit of kindness towards him.
And like,
You all wanted to.
I understand like not trusting him because like I didn't. And I still don't really know if I do. We had a conversation like before everything happened, and I still feel really bad about it. I'm sad that he's gone, even though I didn't really trust him.
And that's fine. I just don't feel sad that he's gone.
Why?
This is how I'm assuming Vogan's sleeping.
Lucky Logan, man.
Hell yeah, Logan.
Yeah!
Wow.
The more the merrier.
Well, you heard him, Kitty. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, he was untrustworthy.
So if we're able to get him back, you're not really, like, that's not really gonna affect you in, like, any way?
Not really. If he comes back and decides to prove with his actions that he can be trustworthy, I'm willing to be proven wrong. But until then, I don't care. All right, I'm going to sleep.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
heard
idea.
No questions. Yep. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yep, we
good
should do
night,
that.
Logan. Yep.
You never again.
They both lay on him.
No.
You're right.
Fenris is just sitting there trancing, staring at them. Because she
Like,
keeps her eyes
My
open.
lungs!
Lexi wraps her
Fenris is
tail
like-
around all of them, so it's like a big blanket.
Fenris is like right there just watching.
Yep. Because she trances with her eyes open.
Horrifying.
Vogan goes to sleep with those two on him, wakes up.
He's like, thank God.
The
this is-
harem is complete!
How dare you?
Help me. You. Hardly.
Oh, I don't know. I have a few talents here or there.
Can you escape from here?
Well, honestly, no, not as of yet. But I just got here myself, so still willing to give it a go.
And what would something so small, without even a physical body, be able to do?
Well, I suppose we'll just have to find out, won't we? Always pays to have friends in a place like this, wouldn't you say?
Your kind are not my friends.
I'll raise an invisible eyebrow. My kind?
Humans, elves, gnomes, whatever you are.
Not quite, but I take your meaning. Have we mortals wronged you in some way?
You are insignificant. That is as far as it goes.
Oh, and I suppose you figured out a way to get out if you're all on your lonesome? That's why you're still hanging around here, I presume, to rub it in all of our faces.
Of course not. I was the first in here, and I will likely be the last.
Well, if that's the case, it seems a rather poor choice to stay on that high horse of yours.
Are you insinuating that your friendship would make my stay here any more enjoyable?
Well, I can say it probably wouldn't make it any worse.
You'd be surprised.
Come now, I'm rather good at finding secrets and information. Give me a little time, I'm sure I could make myself useful.
If you do somehow manage to escape from here, or aid in my escape, you will have earned my favor then. But for now, you are nothing more than one more insignificant pest, a squawking in my ear that I'm unable to escape.
Well, I look forward to proving you wrong.
What did you do that landed you here?
Honestly, couldn't tell you. One moment I was in pitched battle with some underground amphibians. Next I found myself waking up here. Sans body.
Your body wasn't thrown in here with you then.
No, I don't seem to be that fortunate. If I took a guess, it's probably being digested about now.
Then you are truly of no use to me.
How can you be so sure?
If all that is in here is your soul, what do you think happens to you if you get out?
Suppose I honestly don't know. But from what I've heard from your roommate, seems like getting out can't possibly be worse than staying in here forever. Might I ask your name?
Eldra Worm.
Raleigh Vermilion. I'll bow respectfully. I have no idea if he can see this or in any way, but I'll bow.
Do you make a habit of introducing yourself differently to those you speak to? Are you lying to me? Or to Alzandi?
No, neither one. Honestly, it's not a matter of lying. I just prefer the name. But if you prefer, I suppose call me Raleigh Contrella.
It is unlikely I would ever use your full name. My point is that if you intend to fool us, you're not really that useful to us.
At the moment, I have no reason to pull the wool over your eyes. It's a matter of I don't use the name very often. I'm not trying to trick you. Bit of a habit. It's not a name that anyone's supposed to really know about.
From what I gather, from what you had just said to the fox, your current situation is that you're currently trapped in here with me, with an assassin hired to kill you, and an ambivalent antique who refuses to show her face.
An antique? What? I can't say I've heard that term before.
A mortal with a spark of the elemental planes within them.
Element of planes?
Elemental planes.
Oh, elemental planes. Interesting.
But since she arrived here, she has not deemed us worthy of conversation.
If I run into her, I'll do my best to change that. Sounds quite intriguing, I dare say. Quite the band of misfits we seem to have in here.
Do not lump me in with you.
Sure, whatever you say.
I was thrown in here as a matter of self-preservation by this mirror's owner. You being here, I couldn't say why you are, but I don't imagine they're afraid of you.
Hello? Someone there?
The figure puts their hand up and on the mirror. The mirror seems to expand outwards and takes the shape of a large doorway, and the figure seems to step through into where you are. And you see, with mist seeming to begin pouring out again from their location, a boof. You see this woman step into the area that you're in.
It's loading.
It is loading. It's going to take a second.
Loading.
See a woman with a blue and red dress, very long white hair. There's a scarf freely floating around her body. It seems to not be reacting to the air. As she steps in, she has a very regal look in her eyes. Despite the fact that you don't have a physical presence, she's staring straight at, and you feel through you. It would seem we have a new inhabitant. Come closer so I can get a look at you, if you would. You find that only your torso and up appears to be properly visible. You find you are without any of your equipment or your clothing. Ah, I was wondering how long it would take for you to come back here. So tell me, how did you die?
I believe I may have been eaten by some sort of giant frog. It's all a bit hazy.
I'm insulted that you managed to escape from here and then got killed in that way. But I digress. The method by which you died does not matter to me.
Is this the Crystal Queen I'm speaking to?
You say that. Despite everything that you did before, you act as if this is the first time that we met. Or is it that voice that was in your head, steering your actions, is gone now?
You seem to know a few things, don't you? What might you know about this voice?
Merely that there was a spirit possessing you that I helped to try to exorcise when you came here. Or rather, forcibly exorcised. But despite me trying to help you, you still insulted me greatly. You stole from me and made an attempt on my life. I'm not sure whether or not that was the remainder of the influence that was within your mind, or if that was you that did that. Nor do I particularly care. What do you remember?
last thing I can really remember is waking up in the Strike Lands with, I believe your mark engraved on my shoulder.
The mark
But,
that you found on your body. It was at the same time a blessing and curse I left you with. It ensured that whenever you died, you'd return here. It was what I gave you, what I branded you with, that forced the spirit that was possessing you out of your body. If you do manage to recover your memories, then feel free to call out for me. I'll hear it if you call my name from in here. My name is Satsumaru. But if you do not have anything to say that does not regard the items that you took from me, feel free to spend as much time in here thinking about what you did as you wish to.
You're so good at them.
With my
We
words.
have around half a day.
Well, I'm gonna
I think
take a
we
nap.
could use a little bit of a break. We've been walking constantly since yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap. Wake me up when, I don't know, something happens.
I'm gonna go around and gather some firewood.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna turn into a people and go with Miriam.
I'm
Alright.
a stay a people and go over to Fenris.
Is there anything
Oh, I was gonna go over to you. Okay.
Girl, get
I'm
it.
gonna be a
I see you.
hobgoblin and sleep.
I've interacted enough with people for today.
I've been too social.
I filled my roleplay quota. Good night.
Exactly.
Just open the bag. Hey, Raleigh, close it. That's enough for me.
Hey, Raleigh punches him in his face.
It's for being a dick.
Miriam, look what I found.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's an infernal.
What did it say? Do you know what it says?
I have no idea. If you give me a bit later, I can tell you, but I can't right now.
Do you want it?
Sure.
Here you go. Give it.
So I put it on my sleeves.
Here you go.
Here you go.
Fenris is just the cat that brings over all the dead animals and stuff to the owner.
They have a skill for this.
Lexi, spare you.
Get Lexi. Fucking. Here you go.
Oh,
Lexi
right,
dagger.
They're two different people. I know they're both girls, but
But God.
Ooh. I can't tell. The voices are so the same.
They're both so
I still cannot get that comment.
So you know.
At some point before the night comes, I do want to make my way over to Fenris.
yeah. So Blue, are we talking while they're out and gathering wood so we can
Yes.
be alone? Oh, yeah.
So we can dish.
All right.
Do you need something, Quintus?
Yes, I'd like to pick at you for a moment if I could. Fenris, I've thought a lot about everything that was said while we were down in the Underdark. I had already talked to Vogan as much, but I did want to talk with you again before too long, as you did seem rather disappointed in me. Do you mind if we step over here and speak?
Sure.
Before anything gets further. I've thought a lot about what the three of you had told me that night. I'd spoken with not only you, but also with Vogan and with Aristo that night. Everyone was very concerned with my behavior. And I do see why. Wanted to make sure that you did know that I thought about it that night. I thought about everything you had all talked to me about. And I did come to a conclusion, though Vogan didn't seem to like my conclusion, and I can't really tell Aristo anything anymore. But
In due time.
I will eventually speak with him about it. My conclusion was this. I understand your concerns, but I will not stray from my path.
Excuse me, you are so amusing.
Tell that to
I-
Scandal.
I don't think her kind finds that sort of thing to be ribbing, but I suppose I've thought of it as well, and it was perhaps a bit selfish of me to grow upset. Past pains, really.
I know my own
I'm-
shortcomings. You're all much smarter than me. I do understand that. I wanted to make sure you knew
I've
that
never said. I don't know if I agree with that, Clinton. Perhaps cerebrally, but
I wanted to make sure that you all knew that, dumb as I am, I did think it over. Because I do respect all of your attempts at making sure that I don't kill myself.
That would be quite a shame. I appreciate your kindness, Quintus. I hope you didn't misinterpret that. I fear for what your kindness may do to other people. Long before you were born, when I was just a child myself, at 21, things were different. People hurt people out of love all the time. To save them or to help. To put false hope in someone I've done many a time, and I will admit your kindness is a bit off-putting. I want to trust you. I feel the warmth of your kindness often. But I beg that you do not provide that kindness for me. It is far above what I am, and I hope you understand that. I know it comes from good intentions, but you can spend your kindness much better on others. Lexi and Vogan and, of course, Miriam, especially Raleigh, deserve that type of kindness.
So you would rather I harm them with my kindness?
I don't think kindness can harm them right now. As a team member, I don't see there's much you could do.
Then why would
As
my
long
kindness
as you don't
harm
provide.
you?
You can certainly try. I won't accept it.
I'm sorry,
You seem to invite everyone back to your land as if they'll be accepted. And I hope that to be true, but it's hard to imagine. Still, I'm quite fond of watching you. Your kind touch changes the world around us quite often. I have my own statements and questions, Quintus. I know that you were upset a bit ago when we were taking the rest. I didn't feel like I should say anything then because we were in a rather dire situation and feelings shouldn't necessarily be a part of that, but don't you ever get tired of being the brave one?
Not at all.
Quintus.
I get scared. I was scared before when I was fighting that giant beast.
You always push positivity, and that's admirable, but everyone gets tired. If you ever need to talk, I always have open ears.
Oh.
I think
We
most
better
of
make our
us-
way over and get ready for everything. They'll
It's
be back
starting
any
to get
moment with the
dark.
firewood.
Suddenly they're back with the firewood. On
Oh
account
look,
of
they're back with the
on account
firewood.
of the,
Fenris, Quintus, look, I found a really, really cool dagger. Show them. Miriam, show them the dagger that I found.
Yes, that.
Wow. Yes, I'm coming as well.
Did any of you know what it says? I can't read it.
I shall take a look. What language might this be? Okay, I'll say the languages
You
I
can
know
read
and
it.
you tell me. Oh!
it's in Dwarvish.
Oh!
It's in Dwarvish, hell yeah.
This is the second time today. Languages. And my friend.
The writing on it just says travel with luck, Abdexter.
Travel with luck and Abdexter.
Who's
Abdexter.
Dexter?
Fucking Abdexter, just a buff dwarf, just 30 abs. Boom!
His name was Dexter, and then he got
Dexter.
buff.
I'm Abdexter now.
Is that,
Fucking yes.
is that Dexter the name of the blade, or is it the name of that who carved it?
That's a really
With
good
the way
question.
it's engraved, I can only assume it's the name of the person who
So
created
this
this
is a
dagger.
gift of some sort for them.
Well, it's Miriam's now. I found it and I gave it to him.
Then it must be a gift of the earth.
Miriam,
Hopefully. Yep.
a sparrow lands on your head.
Actually, no, this is okay.
Just, wait, no.
Lands
All
on,
the things that
Stabs it with it.
Of all the
Hey.
things that's hit me on the head, this is.
a sparrow comes down and lands on your head. It then sits, pecks one of your horns.
Ow.
Oh.
Oh no.
Hey, get out of there! Hey! Leave it alone.
Shoo!
As you shoo it, it begins flapping its wings, stepping around furiously on top of Miriam's head, then flies off.
Fucking wake up. Things are happening. People
I'm
are
gonna
doing
sleep for 13 hours.
If you sleep any longer, I think we'll have to announce you as dead.
That's fine.
Or at least nocturnal.
I've been pronounced dead before, it's fine.
Ah!
I survived it
rolled
then and I'll
over
survive it
again.
now.
I have to insist.
And you see droplets of water come up out of the river beyond you guys and engulf individual ones. As they do, the pieces of silver start to glow like small moons that scatter around the area again, lighting the place up with this warm silver glow. As they do, the petals all then come back in and cover one spot above the basin. And as they scatter out again, you see that there is a figure that is shrouded by two massive silver wings covering the entirety of their body, folded inward, floating about 10, 15 feet up above the ground. The wings then slowly part, and you see fucking Fenris has already seen them once before.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just that one thing that only Brad knew about?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, this makes sense. I'm surprised I didn't connect. Well, no, I'm not surprised I didn't connect that. Oh, well.
Come forth, Ian.
Yo, right.
Hey,
Come
how's
on.
these rapping?
Load picture.
Sure, I'll revive Raleigh. I don't know why I have such a thing in that.
Ian
No,
and a
don't
sk-
call
just
her.
Ian and a
Such a
skimpy.
vested
Oh, God.
interest in it.
She
Pretty.
beautiful.
Oh,
my.
damn. That's a wife.
Not
Ooh.
everything
Yep.
can be your
Not getting
wife.
sick of that response every time a girl's shown. Not at all.
Yeah, but well then make them less hot, Logan.
No!
Goddamn.
Maybe the first words out of your mouth every time a girl shows up shouldn't be objectification. Moving on.
I can do whatever I want.
Moving on!
It took you some time to get here.
We had detours.
You know this person, Fenris.
I saw her once
When?
when we were traveling towards the mountain. It is wonderful to finally meet you.
When the wise forest appeared in the town that you had rescued, I sensed its appearance. An Edolan showing up in the world is uncommon. Since then, I've been watching you, and I felt a shadow looming over you. I can't contact people unless they go through the means to find me as you have. So I reached out to you when you were sleeping. The only one that was properly cognizant of me was...
She puts her hand out towards Fenris.
Why is it you seeked us out?
There is, like I said, each of you has a particular shadow hanging over you that I thought you may be interested in learning more about. As is my nature to help those that come to this town, I thought I would reach out to you and offer you a chance to gain some insight. It seems that since I made that choice, other considerations have come about for you.
There are plenty of things we wish to speak to you about, yes.
She lowers down with the tips of those, the tips of the very long, pointed ornaments on her shoes just barely hanging above the ground.
To properly introduce myself, my name is Arbella, a guide. I represent the scales.
A man came to you
There you go.
a couple of weeks ago. He asked for aid in helping his daughter survive a sickness. You aided her, but in return, you were offered up his unborn child as a reward. Is that correct?
That is.
I wish to bargain so that be returned to her. She may be born into this world without any preconceived authority over her.
And what would you offer in return for the life of an unborn child? Knowing that she was offered as payment in exchange for the life of someone who is living. Imagine that the value of that life is worth the life of a person who would be like any of you. What could you offer to me in exchange? I would like you to know, these bargains that I make are not something I make out of self-interest.
I would like to offer my services in completing a task for you.
Do you
And
have
such,
a task in mind?
I would complete something which you have not the ability to. As such, I will offer my ability. And if I fail the task, I offer you my life.
I do not operate based on contingency. But if you offer your services, then I do have a task that I would ask you perform that greatly outweighs the life of one child.
I accept.
What is the task?
There is a beast that roams the forests here, one that seeks to consume beings that hold demonic and celestial authority. I hide from it, and one of the reasons why I operate based upon the laws of this shrine and the beseechment of it is because if I remain in the world too long, it may find me. And I fear that, without the ability to defend myself, as I have no power without an offering, I would be killed and removed from the world. If you could find it, slay it, and then return its heart to me. I would consider that a fair trade.
By my honor, consider it done.
You've said a couple times over, shadow that you feel over each one of us. I'm curious if you could expand upon that.
Your futures are tied to, well, the possibilities of your futures and your past are tied to things that most mortal beings would not have to deal with. I cannot divulge that information without any kind of trade. If my conditions were to be met, I could look into your pasts and your probable futures. I could allow you to have a glimpse into what may lay ahead of you.
There is one other thing we wish to speak to you about. Although we had spoken with an ally of ours who told us to go in a certain direction, any aid could be helpful in that regard as well.
The death
One
of
of
your
our
friend.
number who received your blessing had fallen. Is there any way we can have you help or aid in returning him to us?
If given an equivalent offering, the revival of the dead is definitely within my abilities.
What would be an equivalent offering for that?
That is for you to decide.
What if we give you this? Dixie holds out her apple.
The Amatrine apples of Amir.
Mm-hmm.
Very few mortals have ever held one of those. They are life in its purest form. Restorative energy, bound into the form of crystal. If the body is in fine condition, then I could likely restore it to life in exchange for one of those. But you face an additional problem. I could restore the body, but the soul of your friend is not here, and it could not return to it currently.
Why not?
What bar is it?
I cannot give you the details. I don't know them fully myself, but like I said, I have been watching you and I expected this request. May I see the body?
Looks too voguing.
I will go help Vogan because last
Don't
time.
pull him by the hair this time.
Just hold the bag. I got it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Got
You're
it.
gonna move the copper.
But tall son of a bitch.
Get in there. Get.
We pull him out.
As you pull him out, she floats down from hovering over the basin. She puts her hand out. You see this pale silver glow emerge from under his clothing where the mark from the Crystal Queen was. You see it glow very brightly and then seems to disappear underneath the clothing.
I've removed that. That mark was a curse that separates the soul from the body. Normally, it would lead to death immediately. Something about the situation regarding him simply removed a different soul. Souls stolen this way would be trapped within an object as prisoners.
How can we remove it?
The curse is gone.
So you should be able to put him back, right?
His
The
soul
soul's
is still
been
locked.
taken.
Within
It
the
seems-
object it is trapped within. The apple,
Whimsical.
to be honest with you, the apple.
Which she puts her hand out to you. The apple floats from you. Assuming you don't try to grab it, it floats over to her and gently drifts into her hand.
May I assume that you have made this offering, then? Any further assistance that I could give you would require that you complete your offering. Your friend can be saved, but my involvement would end here if you are not willing to part with this.
No, if it means you can get him back, then of course you can have it. Yeah.
It glows briefly and disappears, shimmering out of existence above her hand.
Though the exact nature of what it is trapped in is hidden, the place where it is located protected by magic that prevents me from directly seeing it, I could open up a pathway that should get you close to it. Should I revive the body in such a way that the soul could return, and then, if you were to destroy whatever holds it, the soul would be able to return to the body. Know, though, that if somebody placed this sort of mark upon him, they surely were a very dangerous person. And they would likely guard whatever this object is that holds him.
Thank you.
However, payment for the creation of the gate would be separate from the revival of this person. The task I asked you to perform before, complete that. And then if you do, return that heart to me, and I will consider the heart to be payment.
Would we still receive insight?
Slaying the creature is one thing. Returning the heart, which It will not seem as such to you. It will seem like a stone. Returning that to me so that I may remove it from the world for a time. That is payment entirely separate.
Understood.
Consider it done.
The wings the wings grow larger. And they fold. Raleigh's body floats towards her, and the wings fold in over the two of them to where their bodies can't be seen. The wings then press back and seem to form a cocoon around the two of them. I'm just gonna fucking keep saying it, whatever. I'll deal with it. I'll register it and deal with it on my own time. It's like, because sometimes it's appropriate to say seems to, and sometimes it's not. But now every time I use it, I'm like, was that one? Fuck. Now I'm thinking about it. Anyways, it folds around the two of them, and then the feathery cocoon detonates outwards, and the silver feathers shower down over the area. All the little bits of silver that were contained within the water droplets that have been glowing, they implode and disappear, blipping out of existence.
Yeah.
Bye, Raleigh.
I'll
We'll be
admit
back, Raleigh.
I'll say it. I miss him.
Aw.
I kind of miss him.
Don't you aw, Mr. DM, God in the sky, don't you aw.
It's
Okay.
cute,
You
though.
killed him.
I did not. A toad and Kotoa killed him.
And who
I am
was
merely the
playing
logic
toad
engine
and
run.
Kotoa?
I am merely the logic engine running underneath the world. When you playing a video game and die, you do not blame the Unreal Engine. You blame the thing that killed you.
Fucking Unreal Engine.
That's not how that works at all.
That is equivalent to how that
Blame
works.
The
That is
game.
not.
Oh.
If anything, you're the game developer.
Yeah.
Who you also
And we
don't
blame
blame.
them all the time.
Away we go forth.
Fucking
No.
Todd
I
Howard.
want to stay on this.
No, I'm not done yelling at him.
Disgusting.
Oh, gee.
So Lexi,
Okay.
what's going on?
I'm gonna try to shoot the boy. Here we go,
boy,
boys.
oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Logan's turn will be the first one, but Lexi, go for your attack. Flag advantage, and then fire at it. That's a hit!
Oh!
I mean, it's-
So that's sneak attack.
You fire at it. It strikes it. When it does, you see part of the stone skin that it has chunks off. Blood doesn't come out, but you see part of it get chunked away with what doesn't look like anything underneath it. It just looks like more stone. It's either very thick or this thing's made of rock. As it does, it immediately lets out a and starts to stand as it rises up out of the ground, lifting its claws up out of the dirt as it had submerged itself partially. The amylite spikes on its back as it's disturbed catch moonlight and glow very briefly as it lets out a roar. As it does, all of the spines along its back flash brighter as if they're being charged with it.
Well, then be careful. It seems like he's like stolen or something.
So as you move towards it, as you get to about there, I need you to make a save. As you get, it is not against being frightened. Con save, you failed.
15 fails? Oh no!
As you move towards it, you stop. You are restrained on the spot.
It's the mud.
Oh,
As you stop, you meet its eyes with stony glaze over eyes, and you feel your body beginning to freeze up and you're locked in place.
Oh, no.
is this a super basilisk?
It's a super pass.
You are only
Guys, look
restrained. You have not lost the rest of your turn. You are just restrained.
I can't do anything, so.
Logan, why aren't you
Logan,
getting
get
it?
him. Go.
Logan, get him! Look.
Don't growl at me.
Being clear, you are restrained, but you can still attack.
Then I will.
Thanks for being the guinea pig, Logan.
Yeah, thanks, Logan. There you go.
Oh, that sucked.
Oh!
But who has extra attack now?
This guy.
Me. I do.
Oh, come on! Wait.
It's a miss. It's a miss, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's stupendous!
Oh,
That is.
Oh.
I'm gonna be real with you. That is just a miss.
then I will. Does Wind Chain still active if I use my action surge?
Yep, it's everything on this turn.
Okay, cool. I will action surge then.
Alrighty. Heckin' get him!
Yeah!
Oh, Vogue.
Yeah! I hate this!
You use Wind Chain and begin swinging your sword at it frantically. As you do, you hear the ching as your sword keeps bouncing off bits of it, like the effect of your sword does, but it is remaining still.
So I may not have thought we were gonna fight anything today, so I didn't really take a lot of combative spells.
Oh,
Hey.
no.
Awesome.
Cure wounds on it!
Awesome.
Cure wounds! It's undead, guys. I'll get this. Cure wounds!
It's undead?
Stop!
No, I'm joking. I was joking.
I got so excited for no
I was joking that if it was undead and if this was Final Fantasy, it's just like cure wounds, cure wounds, cure wounds. Phoenix
I'm
down.
gonna
Lexi, are you averting your gaze?
I would imagine I'm probably looking at what the fuck's happening to Vogan and being
Okay.
like, yeah.
Okay. Then you are considered blinded if you attack it. You
Yeah.
can choose to look at it and brave the save if you wish to.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I gotta
Okay.
try to hit it, man. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna look at it.
And I will take blinded off of you. You need to make a con save. So your turn comes, you look at it. Oh, you failed.
Yep, that makes sense.
You are restrained.
So can I try to shoot it or no?
You can.
doing nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna try to shoot that boy again.
That's a hit. No sneak attack though. No sneak attack because you're rolling with disadvantage.
Yeah.
That does nothing. As you fire
Nothing?
at it, it bounces off of it. Your weapon does not manage to break through it.
It is not masterwork.
Yeah, it's true.
It's-
Yep. All right.
All right. It is going to start walking towards you guys, lumbering along.
Oh yeah.
It walks towards you, looming over you, its spikes grating against the top of the bridge above you. As it gets over there, it is going to go for a bite on Vogan.
Oh. It's a
You've gotta
fucking
be
crit,
kidding
isn't it?
me.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
It begins!
I really...
Vogan! No!
Vogan, how many hit points do you have?
How many hit points do I have? 43. And he's gonna
Right.
kill me.
He's gonna kill me. Oh my god!
Oh!
What the?
Oh, it's gonna kill you.
It bites into you, dealing 36 damage.
I mean, it was a crit.
Yeah, it was.
Which auto makes it so all the regular parts of the dice are auto-maxed, which is why that's scary. It's then going to go for a claw bap on Lexi. It takes
Bye,
an attack.
y'all.
So Lexi, an attack's coming at you.
Oh, can I uncanny dodge?
You can.
Yay!
Pretty uncanny how you're dodging while
Yeah,
you're
just-
standing perfectly still.
No, I-
Go ahead and apply the
love
resist
you,
effect to
Kara.
yourself. All right, it takes a swing at you, bring one of its massive claws down on you. All right, you take 7 damage from that.
You get on me
Spencer.
about it, the more I'll remember. Oh, wait!
You know you're not.
Speaking of Spencer,
You know you're not supposed to let things crit on you. You know that's like optimal, right?
Wow!
Strangle you to death! I will strangle you to death!
Listen, if you insist that it's my fault, I insist that it's your fault. So
on
there.
On the note of Spencer, I'm gonna bonus action healing word Vogan. Here, you look hurt, my
Gonna
boy.
kill you.
I don't think you will. I think you're gonna get critical to death. You regain 3 hit points, Vogan.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
You can do it, Vogan.
Lexi.
Yes.
Oh.
That's
I'm
not
afraid
good.
your body turns to stone. You are effectively out of combat.
All right, I've hurt my gaze.
It's in fog. But you go, yeah, totally. Just in case.
You know, just for precautions, you know.
Mhm.
And I will try and hurt it. Or don't. That's fine
What is
too.
with everyone rolling so
We'll get him one day.
It's like my bless isn't helping. Come on.
Oh,
Cool.
guys,
What
what
a
a
hit
turn!
on him.
What a turn!
You have dragon surges.
Yeah, that's 3 points though.
All right.
It would be a shame to
Waste them now.
It would be, yes.
This is dumb because I have like what 24 health to my name.
I'm
but-
stoned. Shut the fuck up.
Listen. Listen.
Listen.
Heck out of here. Okay, I'm gonna try and inflict wounds on the boy.
I'm gonna grab at this boy? Shit.
All right, go for it.
It does a lot of damage.
True. I roll on it. Do I attack it?
You
roll
roll the
the-
spell's attack.
Okay.
One day she'll figure it out.
At least I'm asking.
That's a hit.
Hell
Ah!
yeah. At least she's hitting it, Vogan. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, gee. Savage.
Oh, those could have been so much better.
You seeing it moving around in the mist, you reach out, you grab one of its giant claws as it moves by and pump it full of necrotic energy as best you can. Parts of it explode off. You see a spike from its shoulder just fly off and strike the ground.
Oh,
If I move.
Well,
but it,
all right.
Look at that stone Lexi.
Yeah, holy shit,
Look
dude.
at that stone Vogan.
Wow.
Holy shit.
So Lexi,
He was
Am I con?
prepared.
Am I con? Save?
roll a con save.
Okay,
Come on, girlfriend.
I have an inspiration. I'm gonna use it.
Go
Use
for it.
I'm doing it. Oh god.
It'd be a shame to waste
It'd
it.
be a shame to waste it. Like what?
I hate you all. Please don't die.
Con. Go.
That's high
That was
enough.
good.
A single
That was
silver
good.
feather appears in front of you, becomes energy, and scatters. As it does, the stone skin that is on you shatters, and you are back to normal. That is your turn, though.
Oh,
Thank God.
what's going on? What's happening?
So happy you made petrified versions of our tokens.
Oh yeah, you monster! You fucking
Aristo, you're
planned this.
At first it was
You
that
think I
was
planned for
petrified.
the effect of the creature I made? Yes, I did.
Oh, you monster!
Here's words that you probably never knew you didn't want to hear. Let's see how you do against its fucking neurotoxic breath.
What?
Oh,
It breathes out towards you guys. You guys are gonna take you guys are gonna take 2d10 poison damage as it unleashes this cone of poison mist that seems to be all green and red flakes.
What kind of mist?
So
Oh, gotcha.
Oh no.
poisoned.
I'm done with
See-
you, Logan.
See, here's the thing. You only ever crit Vogan. You only ever fucking poison us.
I know. As by the way, as you're poisoned by this, you start to feel sluggish. You will only be able to take an action or a bonus action on your turn, but not both.
I still have the petrified thing on me.
Oh no, Lexi.
Get that the fuck
But
out.
apparently that neurotoxin brought back your petrification.
Yeah, what the fuck? Dude, I'm like, I'm back. Oh, just fucking missed out.
If only it would have struck you with that while you were
Actually.
still petrified.
I'm gonna try to hurt it.
I throw my shield at it.
Oh,
You did it! Go ahead!
boy.
Ah!
Oh,
You did it!
Die!
And you did good damage!
yeah. It's
It
bloody. Oh,
my
It
God.
can bleed! Second attack.
If it bleeds, you can kill it.
he's right.
There we go!
There you
The
go.
ghost of Raleigh is correct.
Alright. At this point, you guys start to hear the sound of stone scraping and like bassy vibrations coming from inside. It appears to be now chanting something in primordial.
Hey. No.
That's a hit! Look at you!
Ah!
Get him.
About damn time.
Suddenly damage!
Suddenly.
Suddenly damage.
Hit.
Hey!
Yay!
Terrified me.
Finally! Okay, that's fine. Ah!
Hell yeah.
5 forward, and I'm going to do a second level inflict wounds. Because if I use this spell enough, I'll learn how to use it.
Sure.
That's a miss.
Ah, no! I run
By
away!
one.
I run away!
Oh.
Oh, I'm gonna do a nice little.
Go ahead and
Okay,
That's my
you
turn.
can roll it.
go ahead and roll a con save to see if you break free from the poison.
Boogie.
Okay.
You do.
Hey! Oh, thank God.
Also, you have a bardic inspiration you haven't been using. Just a reminder in case it comes up. It continues chanting as it does all of these spines that are on its back, all of the amylite spikes. They glow fiercely. You see, you feel a rumble underneath your feet. You hear it chanting in primordial as its voice echoes around all of you. And these tiny little slivers of, like, flakes of magic fill the air, all surrounding you guys. Spikes of amylite jut out like a forest of spines under your feet. These large spear-like spikes in a 30-foot radius surrounding it just erupt from the ground. Okay, so you boys are gonna take some damage, and you're not gonna like it. Oof. Ugh. All right, those of you that were
Oh!
what? The cloud is gone. As this happens, those of you that were hit, you now need to make a wisdom save.
Yay!
Miriam!
Bow, 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 bow.
Miriam, you are now treated as if you were affected by the slow spell. So Quintus and Fenris, you have seen this thing's general look before. After the fog clears and after you see this happen, it's not exactly identical, but you recall having seen a statue that looks vaguely like this creature before, back when you were in the underground Knoll base.
He's the lizard! The earth thing! No? Am I not remembering that properly? That we looked in the 3 statues, one of them was like a lizard of the
The 3
earth.
statues of Idolos that were in the Knoll underground?
Oh no!
Miriam, it's your turn. Vogan, petrifying gaze incoming. Brap! You succeed!
All right, and I will attempt to hurt it.
Do it. Attempt to hurt it. You hit!
Yeah.
You succeeded in hurting it!
Good. Die?
That's a hit. You rush in, you go for 2 attacks on it, leaping up onto the side of it, you start carving into it with your weapon.
Oh my God.
You know, if you get past the rock parts, it's pretty fucking fragile.
You say that despite the fact that you are just now realizing it's all the rock parts.
I didn't know.
There is no not rock. It is made of pure rock.
I'm just trying to make myself feel better.
That makes me
I got past the rock parts, and I reached the juicy, stabbable stone parts.
I will attempt to use Saving Face.
What's
And
the...
wait, can I use Bardic Inspiration real quick?
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna do that first. Alright,
Okay.
that still fails. I'm
Still
Saving Face.
All right, then you succeed.
Cool. Oh, thank God for Saving Face.
Oh.
I love it so much. Die. I said die.
Yeah.
That's more like die.
Ah!
It takes 3 damage. Look away or...
No.
Boof.
Oh.
Nat19!
Oh, yes!
See,
All
these
right.
are just inspiration generators, Vogan. We got this.
Yeah. Die? Oh, die? Ah! Good game, guys!
Your inspiration, you fool!
I need to save those for the con saves!
It would be a shame to waste them now.
Fenris, what up?
There are better things to save them for.
Probably use my inspiration because I really want to fucking hit it.
Do it, hit it.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm gonna try to do it. Die. Please. Please die.
Please just.
Bow!
Bow!
Add that sneak attack, and then go ahead.
Die, please.
What did I tell you?
What
takes-
did I just say
It
about dying?
It takes 9 damage. What up, Lexi?
Shoot
Get
it.
Do
Get
it!
him.
Die,
Get him.
please.
That's a hit!
Yes!
Oh, goddamn.
Add
die.
sneak attack and fire away.
Die.
It takes 13 damage. Oof. It stumbles. You see the lights that are illuminating the amylite spikes on its back start to flicker slightly. They don't go out, but they start flickering, and it seems to start moving. It points its body in the direction of the lake.
Trying to run away, that
Trying
bitch!
to run away. We gotta stop him.
No!
It's gonna go for a bite on Quintus. He reaches down, bites into you. You're down again.
There I go! And he's down.
Oh,
A claw strikes forward and hits Fenris. That's a hit.
no.
Oh, she's also down. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
You're down too.
Oh,
Oh,
go
fuck.
down.
Then a spined tail comes down on Vogan, and it
No.
hits.
Now
I
choose,
use-
Spider-Man.
I'm gonna use my
Exemplary
exemplary
deflection. All right, apply the effect.
Oh.
You see it
ahead.
reach down, bites into Quintus, throws him off to the side, despite him staying in the same space. It then brings a claw down and crushes Fenris under it. Then brings a tail down on you, Vogan, and you take 3 damage total from the attack. It's then going to 1, 2. It then stomps past you and starts moving towards the lake.
God,
There you go.
fucking whatever.
I'm trying to.
what?
There, we got it, we got it.
There.
Get
Okay.
Fox Vogan.
Jesus Christ. Okay, please die. Please.
You have allies near it. Roll put sneak attack on it.
Yes! Do it!
It lunges and dives into the water as it's rushing into the water.
And this man's whole miserable career.
Oh my god!
How do you want to do this?
Fuck! Oh my god! Oh, okay. Just go step back. And she's gonna just try to like not hit Vogan and like glance back and forth between that and Fenris and be like, oh no, I have to help her, have to help everyone. And then just like fire right at its eye.
All right, as you fire at it, it like looks back. The bolt strikes in through its stony eye, which isn't even a proper eye. It still breaks apart like stone. The bolt goes through its skull out the other side. It lets out a cry as its claws splash into the water. It takes a couple of steps forward, lets out a roar, reeling its whole body back, and as it does, you see the amylite spikes begin to glow, and then its whole body begins to get enveloped in this bright green energy. It glows very, very brightly, seeming to petrify in place for a second. Everything is illuminated like it's day, and then the light snaps together quickly into the shape of a small orb, and then surges towards you, Lexi. This wave of energy strikes you, and you are blown back. There is a small amylite stone floating in the air briefly, with this green ring of runes surrounding it in the air. They dissipate, and the amylite chunk floating where Harok was falls to the ground and into the dirt.
Hell
Lexi,
yeah.
are you okay?
I don't know, it kinda hurt me and now I have a thing on my arm.
Well, here's your trinket.
Yes.
Makes yet another necklace. Like fucking
I hang it next to the chin thing.
Disgusting! I hate it!
I love it. It's so cute.
Yeah, what the heck?
With that, and with
Just
you
guns for
guys
Lexi.
taking a rest,
All right.
with you guys
Summon
taking a
roar.
rest, that's where we're gonna end today.
Here we go.
All right,
Check it out.
we're gonna take off YouTube, then we're gonna raid somebody. But YouTube, we'll see you on Thursday / next week with more Save Raleigh adventures.
Hooray!
Go
and appreciated.